Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our grade 4 coding class for today, July 23rd, 2020. I hope you guys are all well and you've had a wonderful day today. Today we are going to continue with our functions. We're going to do functions with artists. Yesterday we started, just looked at a few puzzles where we have, strangely enough, a zombie artist. That's a little, I found that a little strange, but I'm sure zombies also want to paint some pictures. But today will be part 2. So I hope we are all going to have fun again today. And for those of you joining us for the first time in class on YouTube, I just want to welcome you and introduce myself. My name is Mike Geldermes. Okay, guys, so let's quickly look at our class rules, please, guys. No bad language in the chat. Talk in a respectful manner. And we do want to try and limit the no private messaging, and then chat on content-specific information, please. And remember that because there are so many of you, and if I want to answer the questions that are coming through, I do need to see what's happening. If too much stuff happens in the chat, then I will just change it to private message. I've got it on private currently. I do still receive your answers, so please still communicate with me. But also remember, if it's not work related and somebody asks a question, I might miss it. So I want to ask you guys, please, to keep it to a minimum. And then remember, you can raise your hand at any time. For those of you who don't know, if you go into your chat, there will be some options for you where you can raise your hand, or where you can, if you want to ask a question, or you can just type it in the chat box. And then just the last one, guys, if learners will be removed from lessons if disruptive. Unfortunately, we've had to do that while 1 or 2 other classes. So please, but I'm sure you guys are perfect. I haven't had any problems. So just something to keep in mind. Okay, guys, so let's look at our objectives for today. It is to recognize when a function could help to simplify a program, and then also to use predetermined functions to complete commonly repeated tasks. One thing I didn't add here that we also focused on, or we just touched on it yesterday, is where we start writing our own functions. And why do we do this? So what is the purpose of this? It's meant to further push us to use functions in more creative ways. By also using conditionals and loops, we will learn there are many ways to approach problems, but some are more efficient than others. For now, that is not the most important thing. All I want you guys to do now is to practice with functions. And you know what, even if my way is more efficient, it doesn't matter, as long as we get to the end goal and we achieve what we set out to do. And then also just to improve our problem solving and critical thinking skills. Okay. Coding or a condition. What is a condition? It is a statement that a program checks to see if it is true or false. Okay, so if it is true, an action is taken. Otherwise, the action is ignored. Okay, we will see that as we go through our puzzles. One action will be repeated over and over again until it is no longer true, or the condition is no longer true, and we can move on to the next step. A loop, we've already quite a bit of exposure to loops, so the action of doing something over and over again. We have different kinds of loops. We've seen that we have while loops or until. We've got nest loops. So we just have that in mind, that all these different kind of loops have different conditions, and they will loop until that condition is met or it is no longer true. So, what I want to then also just quickly touch on again is a function. What is a function? And that is what our focus are on today. It's that piece of code that we write that we can easily recall over and over again. And yesterday I put a challenge to you guys to try and write the code for puzzle. I think it was puzzle number 3 or puzzle number 4. And we will look at that because I only received one response. And I'm going to look at that. Okay, and there we go. Yesterday's homework, and there's a digital chocolate for Zivan. There we go. Zivan wrote the code for yesterday's homework, and the challenge was to draw 3 stars. Firstly, we had to write the function. We had to write the code for this function on how to draw a star. Okay, so here we've got that, and then if we followed the instructions, we had to draw 3 stars in this picture. And then here's our code. So we've got first one, draw a star. And inside our draw star function, we've got this code. 1 star, well, how do we draw 1 star? Is we move forward by 25 pixels, move back 25 pixels, and turn right. And then we repeat that process 8 times, and then we can draw a star. And then we jump, and these instructions they gave us, but we will look at them when we go to the puzzle quickly, just to review our puzzle from yesterday. And then there we go. So this one I received from Zivan, and there's his virtual chocolate. He'll just have to imagine what it tastes like. Okay, guys, so let's quickly look. I've gone through our toolbox. And remember, each category has a bunch of blocks within them. So we have to select the action you'd like to perform to see the available options. So just remember that. I'm not going to spend much time on this today. I'm just quickly reviewing so we can have a look. And then we did understanding degrees yesterday. Remember to, in your mind, use your compass, and we will turn any direction we want or any degree of angle that we want just by typing in how far we want to turn. And we also have to remember that once we've turned, that becomes our new base. And another thing to remember is there's always a left and a right. So if we look here, that is the direction we go into. And on each side, there is a left side, or on each character has a left side or a right side. So you have to decide which way you want to turn and by how much you want to turn. Okay. So I'm not going to spend time with this today. The slides are available on YouTube if you want to watch it again. Yesterday we quickly looked, we actually went into, we spent a lot of time on this, and I explained to you how we are going to turn. So always just remember, the one tip I can give you, remember which way your character is moving in and which way he is facing. I see Zoe said she's got some, I'm breaking up a little bit on her side. If you guys can just confirm in the chat box whether or not you can hear me fine, or you also experiencing some problems. Okay, guys, so, and then the last thing that I wanted to show you about shapes like this, our little star that we drew in the puzzle, even in our homework puzzle, we had to draw a star. Remember that every time we move, so we move forward and we move backward. In this particular puzzle, they didn't mind if we did the move forward, move back. Okay, so we move forward and we move back and then only return. Now you can see this star only has 6 sides because the degree that I turned in was a 60-degree angle. But in our puzzle, they made it a bit smaller and they turned in a 45-degree angle. So we could have 8 legs to our star and not just 6. So move forward, move back, turn, move forward, move back, turn. And just remember, every time we move, our base changes. So the first one was over there. Then our base becomes the new line we draw. So we will go around in a circle until we finish the amount of times we had to repeat that action. In this case, 6. And in our puzzle on code.org, 8 times. Okay, guys, so now let's go to code.org and have a look at our code and see what we can code today. So if you give me a moment, I'm going to switch over. I'm going to switch my screens over to code.org, and then I will share the link with you as well, and then we can get started. There we go. Yes. There's our code. There's our puzzle. And then here comes the link. Let me just share that to everybody. There we go. There's our link. So guys, please remember to tell me once you are in, I'm in or here, so that I know that you guys are ready and we can get started. I'm going to read the instructions in the meantime. When drawing a star, or when drawing 3 stars, when is drawing 3 stars harder than drawing 4? When you also have to jump over the moon. Let's go down. And I see Ziban is in, Taryn is in, Megan is in. The jump between the first and the second star is 200 pixels, and the jump between the second and the third is only 100 pixels. Okay, I see Awande is also in, Zoe is in, great stuff. Okay guys, so first of all, what we need to do is they want us to use functions, so we have to write the function for our first star, okay? And we know from our previous puzzle, the length of one of the little legs of our star is 25 pixels. Okay, so how are we going to go about this? And I see we have some students just joining, so let me just quickly share the link again before we carry on. There we go. Okay, guys, so remember, our first step is to just draw 1 star. Let's forget about the rest. Let's just draw 1 star. What are we going to do to draw 1 star? Here's our draw star function block. We go to our actions and we just move forward. And remember, you can check your code anytime you want or as many times as you want. So if you just want to see if this 1 line is right, we can draw that 1 line. That's not going to do anything because there's nothing in there right now. Let's go to our functions. There's our draw star function. So everything that we do in here will be in this block. So we have to remember to put that there. Okay. And I see I've got someone asking me just to go a little slower because they're still going in. It's fine, no problem. You'll be able to see our code. I'm just explaining as we go along. Okay, remember we have to bring in, just writing the function won't do anything. We actually have to go to functions and drop our function or the block that we have created into our code. And now we can reset and run, and we can see the one line is fine. There's no problem. We can draw one line. If we want to go back to the middle, what do? We just have to walk backwards. So we move forward and we move back. We move forward and we move back so that we are in the same position. So let's look at that forward and back. Oh, wow, that was fast. Reset, let's run it. Go forward and go back. So I am on the same space I was when I drew the first line. Now I need to just turn, and they told us we have to turn by 45 degrees. So now I can go left or right, it doesn't matter. Left, I'll draw the top one first. Right, I'll draw the bottom. I'm going to show you guys. So there, turn left. Oh, if we turn right, then I turn. There we go. Now I'm facing. You guys can see my little zombie in which direction he is facing. Okay. Let's put a loop in now because we have a lot of lines we have to repeat, and all the lines are the same, but I just want to put in 2 so you can quickly see. So now I've turned, and if I turn right, let's see what happens. I turn right, I loop, and I draw one more line. I go that way. Okay? And now you can see my second turn, I will come straight down. If I turn this to the left, you'll just see I'll do the top one first. Turn left. So it doesn't matter whether you turn left or right. It will just depend on which way around you go. Okay, so it just depends on which way you go. Now to make all 8 lines, I have to repeat this 8 times. And then I have a beautiful star. And just want to remember, even though I only have one block in my workspace, my workspace still counts as 7 blocks. Because remember, inside this one block, I've got all this code here. Okay, I've got all this code inside this one block. We have to remember that. Okay. Okay, I hope everybody is with me. So let's reset and let's run. I can make it a little faster. That's 3 times, 4 times, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There we go. Beautiful. I've got a star. Now, I don't know how many of you guys saw this, but I want you to look, because remember, I always tell you, look to see what's available in your toolbox. And if we go here to brushes, we actually see a nice block here as well, set color. Now, I like using this because maybe I want to make my star a different color. And remember, this is not going to change. This is just going to change your line color. Okay, see, look, I put it in. It didn't change anything on my workspace. It didn't add a block. It's when we did, remember, variables as well. We set the length of the line we are going to draw at the start. And it doesn't affect your code. It doesn't change the amount of blocks. It just defines the variable of color. So now it won't be a standard white. I want my stars to be yellow. So if I reset, we will see all my lines that I'm going to draw from now on will be yellow. Oh, and I see Miracle asked if we can change it to red. We can change it to any color we want. Okay, so then guys, what are we going to do? Now let's follow our instructions. Look what they've told us inside our instruction block. The jump between the first and the second one. How far do we have to jump from here all the way over here, over the moon. Let's quickly see how far do we have to jump. We have to jump by 200 pixels. 200 pixels. We have to jump 200 pixels. And where can we find the jump? We go to our actions. Down here we see, okay, there we go. We've got move, turn, and jump. So after I've done my star, remember now I'm going to build on in my workspace. I don't want the jump inside my function because this function is only to draw a star. There we go. And I see Miracle told me, what am I going to do next? I'm just going to draw another star. So now I can go to my function block and there it is. It's already there. I can just drag it in and I don't have to write anything else. I just drag it into place. And remember, if you want, I want each star to be a different color. So maybe here I will set my color to light blue. I'm just having fun. Remember, I always want you guys to have fun. So check your toolbox, what is available, and use what you can. Practice, test it out. See what happens if you change the amount of pixels. See what happens if you change the distance. So we can even, if we go to our star and we want bigger stars, we can change that to, let's make it, I want a slightly bigger star, so I'm going to make it 45. We just have to remember that. Our code might not work right now because we're not doing what they said. But I just want to show you guys, if we play around, you can change a lot. And then I will jump. Okay, so let's reset, run. There we go. Now my stars are a little bit bigger. I don't want small stars, I want big stars. Still runs perfectly. I've just got bigger stars now. Now my jump, I said 100. I need to change that to 200. I never changed it. So let's reset, run again. I'm going to go a little faster this time. Jump, there we go. Now I've got a nice blue star. I like the big stars. I don't want small ones. Now I just have to do it one more time, okay? Or we could have just put this. Now, we have, if we read our instructions, the jump between the second and the third is 100 pixels. So now we know we have to jump from here, and there we go. I see Miracle already told me in the chat box, jump by 100. So we go to our actions, we find the jump, and then we can just, what do we do after we jump? We just draw another star. And maybe this time I want my star to be, what's going to look nice? Let's see what colors are available. And I have a question by Miracle, how do I make them big? Remember, Miracle, you have to go to your star function. And Maramba said I have to make it red, so I'm going to make it red. Let me tell you, Miracle, go to your function, draw star. You have to make the distance that you move bigger. It was 25. I've made it 45. You can make it even bigger if you want to. But then they might overlap and they'll be in front. So go back to your function, because remember, everything that is in star is going to be performed. So go to your function, change the length or the distance that you move in pixels. I've changed it to 45. So my lines are a little bit longer. You can make the stars smaller as well. You can just make it 20 or 15 if you want, and it'll be tiny little stars. But so there you go. I hope you find that and you can change it over there. Okay, so there's that. And let's go. Maramba said red is going to look nice. So let's reset, run. There's our yellow star, our blue star, and there we go, and red star at the end. And I want to show you, look at that, 11 blocks. I didn't use any extra blocks to write this code. Okay, now unfortunately, just because I was playing around, it didn't tell me, woohoo, I finished the code, because something is wrong. And remember, what is wrong? I changed this to a bigger size. If I want to carry on to the next stage, I actually have to use the correct dimensions they gave me. So I just wanted to show you guys, you guys can play around on any level by just changing distances and values, just to see what everything does. But if we want to go on to the next level or the next puzzle, we actually have to use we have to use the correct instructions. So let's reset, run it. There we go. Small stars, a yellow one, blue one, and then a red one. Yes, I quite like that red. It's a nice, beautiful red. There we go. And then we finished that puzzle. Okay, so I hope everybody is still with me and understands how we go about doing that. So puzzle number 5. And I see, okay, I'm going to try and remember, Nesu. If you guys log into your Zoom, you can check, you can change the name. So please change it to the correct names, because sometimes I just see something pop up and I read the name and I read the message. I don't always remember to use the correct names, but so remember to change your name before you log into Zoom. Okay. So guys, look at this. Wow, we've got a big house. Drawing all of these windows individually would be a pain. Try solving this puzzle by creating draw window and calling it 5 times. Remember, just calling it just means to go back to our function block and then use the draw window block we have created. Watch out for the door. And now here they give us our instructions. How do we draw a window? Each window is made up of 4 25 pixel squares. The top windows are 100 pixel jump away from each other. The bottom windows are 150 pixels below the top set. Okay, so that's something for us to remember. It's below the top set. Okay, so who can figure out what will be our first step? How would we go about solving this puzzle? Remember what they tell us? Each window has got 4 squares, 25 pixels long. We are already on the top window, so let's start with that window. How are we going to draw that window? What will be our first step? Okay, what will be our first step? Oh, can I see Anessa says, where do we change the name? It's when you join the meeting. As soon as you go in, I think it says, when you join the meeting, it asks you what the name is. So I'm not quite sure right now. Just check that as soon as you click on a join meeting, it asks you the name as far as I'm aware. So, but that's okay. If you can't, then it's also okay. It doesn't matter. I'll just try to remember. Okay, guys. So what are we going to do about these windows? And Megan said the first step we do is we move forward by 25 pixels. And I have to agree, yes, let's stick to it. Let's move forward. So we are going to write inside our function because we want a video, not a video, a window. We are going to move forward by 25. There we go. I agree with that. We move forward by 25. And remember, if we want to just turn left or right, I think, let me see, I've got some hands up. Wow, so many people want to help. I think the first hand was Zivan today. So let's unmute Zivan and see if he can draw one video. There, I said video again. One window for us. Okay, so Megan gave us the first step. She said move forward by not 100 pixels, by 25 pixels. What's our next step, Zivan?
I'm just going to tell you how to draw the blocks inside.
Yes, I'm doing one square at a time because remember it said 25 each small window. So tell me, how am I going to go the next step?
Okay, move backward by 25 pixels.
Okay, explain to me why do I want to turn backwards? Or why do I want to move backwards?
Because you are going to turn right when you're in the middle and go forward again.
Can't I just draw the first block and go in a square? Because I've already moved forward and now I'm just going to go back to where I started.
Yes.
Okay, so I saw Megan say we're going to turn. So yes, we are going to turn first. So we're not just going to move forward, just go back to the same spot, remember? Otherwise, that will just be an extra step. So we want to just go in a square. And if we go 4 sides, we will get back to the middle. Okay, so we're going to turn right or left. It doesn't matter because there's a square on each side. So let's turn right like Megan said. Okay, Zivan, what's our next step? How do we make a square? If we move forward and we turn right. Okay, I think I've lost Zivan. That's okay. So let's go to, I'll do this one and then maybe you guys can help me on the next one. So Megan is quite right. We move forward and we turn right. So if we want to test that, we can check it and we'll see that that draws our first, remember our square needs 4 sides, okay? We're going to repeat all of that 4 times. And then I'm sure we will have one little square inside our big square. There we go. There's our first little window inside our big window. Okay, and I see Zivan said I'm muted. So maybe I touched. So let's try Zivan again. Okay, Zivan. So remember, you see, we don't have to move back. We will just draw our first little square and then we are back in the middle. Okay,
yes,
so what next?
I tried to let you do the middle block, not the block outside.
Which middle? I am doing just one little square per...
Inside.
There are 4 squares inside one big one.
Pixel. I said 100 pixels. 50 pixels.
Okay, remember we started with, Megan said move forward. So I already added that in. So you just wanted to draw the first block. So you had to, remember you have to actually explain nicely that if you guys want me to take away something, you also have to tell me to remove something first, okay?
I wanted to do the middle, not the outside of the block.
Which middle? I'm not sure which middle you are talking about.
Inside the square.
Okay, there are 5 windows, right? Can you see all 5 windows?
Yes.
Okay, so where's the middle? Did you want to do the window in the middle above the door?
No, I wanted to. I wanted to do the plus inside the block.
You wanted to do the plus first, but remember,
Yes.
if you wanted to do the plus and then the square around. But remember our instructions. What are our instructions? Let's quickly look at our instructions. Each window is made up of 425 pixel squares. So they wanted us to make a square of 25 pixels each. Okay. So we just go, yes, you are quite right. You can draw the little plus on the inside and then draw a square around it. But I wanted us to follow the instructions as they gave it to us. Okay. So then we're going to, they say each window is made up of 4 25 pixel squares. And then there we've got the first little square. Okay. Can you see we've got the first little square? Now, how are we going to draw a second square?
No, you can give it to someone else.
Okay, no, not a problem. Thank you, Zivan. Okay, guys. Yes, Zivan did have a cool idea. We could do it that way as well. Each window, how do we draw a window? And we will look at his as well. But we're quickly going to do the one that Megan started. So let's quickly see. Let's go to Taryn. Hi, Taryn.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How are we going to draw that second square?
So then after you say draw window, turn left by 90 degrees and repeat it 4 times.
There we go. So we just have to face in a different direction. So let's go to our actions. We are going to turn left.
90.
And I put that at the bottom right or inside the loop?
You put it under the thumb.
Under, there we go. Yes. And then remember, we've got 4 squares. So we're going to repeat everything 4 times. So let's quickly see what happens. Thank you, Taryn.
You're welcome, but that isn't the way I did it.
Is it? What else did you change? Let's reset and run. There we go. There's our...
was somewhere else.
Is it? Okay. Yes. Tell me, where did you have yours?
Function draw window under the when run.
Up here. Okay, remember this is just for the one where I put it in now is just for the window. This is the one little window I'm drawing here, okay? So that every time this one block will draw this entire piece for me. So this was just the one window that we are focusing on, and we wanted to complete that. So we didn't want to add it in our workspace just yet because we wanted to complete this draw a window. So every time I'm going to put in draw a window, it will draw this entire shape. Okay. But if yours work, it's great. I see we are running out of a bit of time today because this is quite a difficult one. So I'm quickly going to run through it on my side. And then if you guys have different answers, that's cool. Please send them to me. I'll share my email address for you guys at the end. Okay. So guys, remember there we have the code for one window. Just one window. So what do we do next? They tell us if we want to draw, the top windows are 100 pixel jump away from the other one. Okay, so 100 pixel jump. So we know that we can draw all 3 of these just by jumping. Jump forward 100, and then we're going to draw a window. Jump forward by 100, and then we're just going to draw a window. So just by jumping forward and drawing this, we already have the top. Let's quickly look. Run. I'm going to make it nice and fast. There's one, jump forward. There we go. Look at that. There we go. 3 windows on top. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. Okay, guys. Now, what is the next step? We need to draw the windows down here at the bottom. Okay. How are we going to go about drawing those windows? Okay. Firstly, we read our instructions again. The bottom windows are 150 pixels below the top set. Okay, so what are we going to do? We need to face downwards. So we are going to turn right, and I think this is what Taryn spoke about a little bit earlier. We are going to turn right by 90 degrees. So our little artist will look down this way. And how far are we going to jump? We are going to jump 150 pixels so that we move from this position all the way down to that position. So let's jump forward by 150 pixels. There we go. And if we want to test that, we can quickly look. I'm going to make it very fast because we have to finish this puzzle before our time runs out. There, I see I am in the right position. Okay, so what am I going to do next? Now I am just going to turn again to face in that direction so that if I jump next time, I can jump this way. So I just want to turn quickly. Let's put in a draw window. Maybe that will even work. So let's draw the window first. And then I just have to make sure which direction I have to turn. Perfect, that's fine. So now I can see, look at me. I'm facing down. Let's turn to the right. Turn right by 90. And then how far is it from here to here? Remember here, each window is 100 apart, 100, 200. So if I want to go over the door to this window, I have to jump by 200 pixels. Jump by 200 pixels. And we can reset and test it quickly. Going very fast. There we go, I'm in the right spot. There we go, and Anesu said to jump 200. Well done. Yes, guys, and then our last action will just be to draw another window. So we can take our function block and we can just do that. And Dante said he got it right. Well done, guys. If your code is any different than mine, please share it for me in the chat, on my email. I really want to share it with everybody. And guys, remember, if you want to change your windows a little bit, I want my windows to be blue. So I'm going to put blue in on the top, reset, and there we go. I've got some nice blue windows. If you want each window to be a different color, you have to remember to set the color above every window so that each window is different. Okay. Guys, that is unfortunately all we have time for today. I hope you guys had fun and that you guys are practicing this. So tomorrow we will continue with our functions because there are a lot of things we have to focus on when we do this. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Let me quickly go to my slides again so you can see my email address where you can send me your puzzles. There we go. And Megan asked, what's your email address? There we go, mgeldenes81@gmail.com. And I'm also going to type it in the chat box so that you can just copy it quickly. 81. Or take a picture of your screen or screenshot that and keep it on your phone. There we go, mgeldenes81@gmail.com. Okay, guys, and then I'm going to say goodbye. I hope you have a wonderful day. then I will see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.